So in the last video I alluded to making a winning trade plan for you, and this isn't going to be like most people where they make a video that's like, here is a winning trade plan, or here is how you should approach gold, here is how you should approach US 30. No, this is a winning trade plan for you, no matter what time of the day you trade and what you trade. So the first thing we're going to start with is finding a point in the day. Most people struggle with this. All you have to do is find a point in the day where you can focus clearly for an hour, 15 minutes. Literally, it has to be at least 15 minutes, but probably no more than 2 hours, where you can just think clearly and focus. So plan it around your life. If you find that, I don't know, you have children and they get up and go to bed at a certain time, get up slightly before them, go to bed slightly after them, either or. If you do a 9 to 5, you get home and you're like, well, I'll cook dinner in an hour, but I have an hour in this gap. Perfect, there's your hour to trade. You have to find the point in the day where you can be peaceful and focus and think clearly and think of nothing else. And the same point, if something tries to interrupt you for that point of the day, let it. Go do that thing. Whatever that thing is, it's obviously more important for the day. And this is where you need to realise that, look, you're going to find a trade to take any day of the week that you want to find one. So don't worry if you have something else to do. There's going to be a million other trades you can take. There's no point in FOMOing into something or thinking like you're missing out, because there really isn't. Step 2 is, now you know that time of the day, and it's probably in one of 3 sessions: Asian session, London session, or New York session. Know what to trade. Knowing what to trade is important. Asian session, pick your ORD pairs, your JPY pairs, your NZD pairs, because that's what's open. That's when they're trading. If you're in London, pick your Euro pairs or your GBP pairs, because that's when they're open. If you're in America, pick your USD pairs or your MXN pairs. That's when they're open. And if you don't want to pick any of like the conventional Forex pairs for some reason, then look at what indexes are open during what hours. So for instance, US 30, I would trade it during New York session. German 30, trade during London session. The ORD 225 or whatever it's called, trade it during Asian session. There's no reason to trade a pair outside of its session. Now you've identified your pair and what time frame, you need to work out how you're going to trade it. And my general rule of thumb here, if you're trading an Asian session or just after the daily handover, so daily handover is 10 PM UK time pretty much, every day. So if you're like 11 PM UK time, then obviously you're going to have to convert your time zones. But if you're sort of just after daily handover, then consider taking a date, like a swing trade, where you take it off the daily time frame and you check it once per day. So it's like you check a trade 5 times per week and you're taking it off the daily time frame, because there's less volatility. Now obviously if you're trading something where there is enough volatility during Asian session, then that's irrelevant. You can trade on a small scalp, but you'll find with most things the volatility isn't there enough that you can take a long short-term trade, because you just don't find that volatility in Asian session. So that's why I would encourage you to take daily chart stuff where it's like, oh, my trade could last 2 weeks. There's no reason that it makes you less or more money than scalping. It's just a different way of approaching it, and it's an easier way of approaching it for Asian session, just simply because of the lack of volatility. Now, if you're trading for London or New York, sure, scalp, easy. I would say trading on the daily chart during London or New York session is actually harder than trading it during Asian session like that, because the volatility is so high. You will get a move that will appear on like the 1 hour chart, and you'll take it thinking, oh, it rides the daily, and then all of a sudden it will go off in another direction because there's news. So if you're trading during London or New York, I would suggest probably look at intraday into very short-term scalp trades, because it's just going to be easier for you. So now you've got 3 things. You've got when you're trading, what you're trading, how you're trading it. And by how you're trading it, I literally just mean the pure day trade, swing trade, short-term. Those 3 things are the most important things to dial into your plan. So if you're going to go away from this video, in your plan, you should start off by writing your list and being like, on a spreadsheet, ideally, go to Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel or whatever you're using for writing spreadsheets. Put in, first thing, the time, the second thing, what, and the third thing, how, and then from there, you need to find your method. Now, in this channel, you'll find dozens and dozens of methods, and in our Discord, you'll find dozens more because we have a spreadsheet that's a copy of all the strategies we've ever posted. You could look there, you could look at some of the free methods we've posted, you could find or work something out yourself. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to trade what thing because you're going to have to do a back test. And the reason I say that is because your specific hour might not work for a certain strategy, but it might work for something else. So you're going to have to go and test it. Now, testing it is very, very straightforward. All you do is go in TradingView, scroll way back in time as far as you can, and you just sit there, follow that method, add your trades on, and in a spreadsheet, just take a list of them and the net result of pips and be like, oh, this one was plus 50, this one's minus 24, this one's plus 37, this one's minus 68. And just take a list and at the end see if the pip result is positive and see how many winners versus losers you had. It's not a hard thing to do. It might take you, I don't know, a week for a pair if it's a scalp. If it's like a scalp method, it's not going to take you any longer than a week of your 1 hour a day testing. Other than that, I'm going to leave you with the how to make trade plan, and I will see you in the next video. This was just how to make a trade plan that works for you, because making it work for you is the most important thing in the world.